Hello friends, hope this video finds you and your family healthy and happy. My name is Kapil Chopra and I'm an investment advisor. So friends, in the last 4 years, I have met 300 plus families and heard their stories on how they handle their finances. I discovered some of them were on the right path while most of them they have deviated from their path. And on listening to people around me, I discovered there are some problem areas due to which people fail in their financial lives. So today I'm going to discuss with you 12 such reasons due to which people can fail in their financial lives. See if any of them are applicable to you and take corrective action. Problem area number 1, excessive dependency or reliance on the fintech companies. Now, if you will notice in the recent years, there's been a boom in fintech companies, okay? They have come out like mushrooms, if I can say so. And what they basically do is they will invite you to engage on your own and they will show you projections that, okay, if you go the direct route, over a period of 20 years, you can make an extra 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees over your investments. And in my opinion, this is an unrealistic number actually, because they're asking investments, these projections are based on investment period of around 20 years. Whereas practically, we have seen that on an average, a mutual fund investor stays invested only for a period of around 3 to 4 years. All right. So these numbers are not right. And they are asking you to go the direct route just to save that 0.5%. Okay, don't pay an investment advisor, do it yourself and save that 0.5% or 1%. Now, in my opinion, engaging in investment advisor will always help you, because investment is not just about money. It is about emotions. It is about the psychological connect which fintech companies fail to offer. If you engage with an investment advisor, they can handhold you, they can guide you on the right path, and they can ensure that your money is going in the right direction. So this can be a recipe for failure if you are doing everything yourself. I don't have anything against these companies or people who are doing direct investments. You can definitely do that. And my advice would be that unless you are a financial expert yourself, please take help from financial advisor who's an expert in that field. Problem area number 2, lack of discipline. So I have come across so many people who lack an investment discipline. Okay, they will start investing in some instrument or the other, and say after 2-3 years, they will withdraw their corpus, they will put it somewhere else, or if some need arises, they will liquidate their investments and fulfill their short-term or long-term other requirements. Now, this is a sure shot recipe for disaster. If you lack investment discipline, then you will not be able to build wealth over a long period of time. And investment discipline is one of the major ingredients which will help you build wealth over a period of time. So this is one problem area where I have seen that people fail to achieve their financial goals. Problem area number 3, lack of risk management. So I believe this is one of the most overlooked aspects of financial planning. People tend not to take term insurance because it does not have any maturity benefits, okay, or because they have an employer health insurance, they will not take a personal health insurance. And believe me, this is a sure shot reason for financial disaster if unfortunately something goes southwards in your lives. There is a study which reveals there are 55 million people, you heard me right, 55 million people who are pushed into poverty, or they are pushed into the never-ending cycle of debt trap only because of one medical emergency that takes place in their families, right? Most of the people in India, they are still sitting on a time bomb, and they are just one medical emergency away from a financial disaster. So it is very important to ensure that you are covering your risk. And it is my humble request to all of you that please don't treat insurance as an expense. Treat insurance as an investment to buy peace of mind, right? We have seen during COVID, I have heard so many stories that people had to liquidate their investments. They had to resort to borrowing from family, friends, taking personal loans just to pay their hospital bills, only because they either did not have a health insurance, or even if they had a very minimal amount, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, whatever the employer was providing. So Having risk coverage in form of health insurance and term insurance is not a luxury today. It is a basic requirement. And if you don't have this, it can be one of the major reasons of financial failures in your life. Problem area number 4, lack of planning and budgeting. So we see most of the people, when it comes to their finances, they are reactive rather than being proactive. And this can be disastrous, right? So you have to plan for your life events in advance. So plan for your marriage, plan for your family expansion, plan for your children's education, plan for your retirement, plan for their marriage, or plan for any contingencies. So you need to take care of all these aspects, and only planning can help you. Right? Planning will help you to set realistic goals. If you set those goals in accordance with your income, then definitely you can achieve them over a period of time. So not having financial plans in place, not budgeting your expenses is again one of the problem areas where lack of this can lead towards financial failures. Problem area number 5, lack of patience. Believe me, this is the most common and widespread reason for financial failures. You need to understand one thing. Wealth creation is a time-taking process. Wealth creation does not happen overnight. If you have seen somebody who have turned rich overnight or turned rich in a very short span of time, believe me, it's a one-off case. Okay, it might be that they have gone extremely lucky in some transaction, or they have won a lottery, or they might even be indulged in some illegal activities. Who knows, right? Nobody would reveal that. So getting rich takes time. Creating wealth takes time. You need to understand this. Even if you buy land, right, it can't happen that you buy it today and in 6 months time its value doubles. It does not happen. Even for that land to appreciate in value, you have to allow it time, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, right? So wealth creation, understand, is a long-term process. It takes time, and wealth creation happens because of the power of compounding. And the power of compounding works in long term. It does not work in a period of 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. To see the true potential of compounding, you have to allow it 15 years plus time. And that is when you can see the magic of how it can multiply your wealth. So remember, there are no shortcuts to wealth creation. Have patience and things will fall in place. Problem area number 6, reckless borrowing. Now, I have seen a lot of people borrowing money. When you ask them why you have borrowed, even they are not able to answer that question satisfactorily. And the presence of credit cards nowadays has worsened this habit of reckless borrowing. And when I say this, I don't blame credit cards. I blame the habits, right? Credit card is a very good instrument to effectively manage your finances, right? It can be very rewarding to use credit cards responsibly. But the problem arises when people start using credit cards without knowing their financial state, how they will repay that money, and get into a debt trap. That is where the problem lies. So one has to avoid reckless borrowing to get financially rich. And next time you're swiping your credit card, just remember that you are spending your future income today. So spend only that much which you can repay without any stress. And misuse of credit cards, reckless borrowing can be a sure shot recipe for your financial failure. Problem area number 7, overspending on children's education. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not against spending on children's education, right? They are the darlings of our houses, and it is our responsibility to make them educated. But then to which school your child is going should not be a question of your status symbol, right? Rather, you must ask, will the school be able to deliver what my child wants? What are my child's passions? And am I able to afford that school? These are some important questions you need to ask yourself. Now, today, if you are sending your child for higher education abroad, okay, US or UK, the expenses might run into crores. And if you have not planned it in advance, it makes matters worse, right? And if you end up withdrawing funds from your retirement corpus, like you might have started a SIP for retirement, or from your PF, or other sources which you have saved for your retirement, right? It will be a nightmare for you once you retire, because this will settle your children. But what will happen to you in your old age? Are you willing to be financially dependent on your children when you retire? This is a question you need to ask yourself. Right? Make sure that you give the best education of your children. Don't make it a question of your status symbol. Else, there are fair chances that you will be in for a shock later in your life. Problem area number 8, starting your retirement planning too late. So this is indeed very shocking, and it pains me to see that there are people around highly educated, 45 plus years of age, and still they are thinking about the retirement planning. Okay, they haven't even started it yet, and this is a really very sorry state of affairs. Okay, I feel sorry for such people, honestly, unless they have wealth from their forefathers. Okay, and they have that carried forward. If they are on their own, they're in for a big shock when they retire. Most of the people, even after being highly educated, right, they don't realize that there's a demon called inflation, which they have to consider while planning their retirement corpus, right? They don't take into account the menace of inflation, and they feel that their PF corpus or other retirement benefits like gratuity would serve their post-retirement life, which is unfortunately not true. So starting extremely late for your retirement planning is another problem area which can lead to your financial failure. Problem area number 9. Now, this is a bit unusual, okay, and but I have realized this can be a problem which might lead to your financial failure, and it is conflict between husband and wife, right? And how often we come across situations where the husband wants one thing and the wife wants a completely different thing. Husband wants to invest in mutual funds, in stocks, or other risky asset class. Wife only wants to invest in, say, FDs, right? Husband wants to buy a high-end car, and wife does not want to spend that much money on car. Husband is okay with a moderate lifestyle, but wives want a lavish lifestyle, branded clothes, parties every week, that kind of stuff. It can be anything. Conflicts can be in any form, and when these conflicts happen, it creates an environment of stress, right? Unfortunately, I'll not be able to solve this problem. This is something which both the parties will have to work on a win-win situation amongst themselves. But yes, this is my observation, that this conflict between husband and wife can lead to your financial disaster. Problem area number 10, unwanted buying. Now, this is a silent killer of your financial dreams. Okay, how many times it has happened? We are in a mall, we see a 50% off board, and we get attracted to buying something which we might not even need. Right? This is something which is happening at a very rapid pace nowadays because of availability of mobile apps and the advertisement that is coming through various different channels. You open any app, you will see ads related to your interests, and they'll lure you to spend money which you might not even want to. So be very cautious when it comes to spending recklessly, spending on something which you might not need, and avoid those situations so that you can also avoid financial failure in your life. Problem area number 11, excessive investment in properties. Now, some people get addicted to investment in properties, and they would do it by withdrawing money from their other liquid assets, or they might even take up loans. Now, understand one thing, investment in properties will always require huge amounts, right? And if you are liquidating your investments in other fields for your other goals to buy property, or you are taking a loan and you are doing this repeatedly, right? This might kill you financially if you overdo it. So having an additional piece of land, an additional house is perfectly fine, unless you are not taking a loan or you're not disturbing your other financial assets. But if you're disturbing them, then taking loans to buy a piece of land or a piece of property, then it might not be fruitful in the long run, is what I can say. We need to understand, right? Land also will not grow in valuation overnight. It will take time. Same goes with properties. In fact, in case of properties, situation can be far worse than you can imagine. If you're investing in a flat, there is a fair chance that by the time you have ended your home loan and the amount of interest you have paid to the bank and the amount of corpus you have invested yourself, your flat might not be worth even that much after 20 years or 15 years of your loan, right? Because the growth becomes stagnant after a certain stage in case of flats. So be very mindful when you are investing money in properties. Another challenge with investing in properties is that it's highly illiquid. So you may need money today, okay, but you are not able to find a buyer at a suitable valuation. And there are cases I've seen where people had to sell off their properties at a lower rate than market value because they were in dire need of money. Now, if you will see on an average, over a longer period of term, I'm talking about 15 years, 20 years period of time, mutual funds and investment in properties have given similar kind of returns. Okay. The advantage with mutual funds is that you don't have to invest the entire amount at once. That is one advantage. You can invest in small bits and pieces. You can invest regularly without any financial stress, without taking out any loans, and then you can invest, right? Whereas in case of properties, you have to invest the entire corpus at once. So historically, if both these asset classes have given a similar kind of returns, I would incline towards mutual funds. First, because they are highly liquid. Okay, I can get my money in just 2 days whenever I want, and it is to some extent more fruitful, less stressful. So excessive investment in properties in the long run might cause some financial upsets if you overdo it. Problem area number 12, lack of compartmentalization of your investments. Okay. Now, when you look at a house from outside, it is just 4 walls, right? But when you get inside, you have dedicated area for each of your daily routine activities, right? You have a kitchen, you have a living room, you have a bedroom, and you have a washroom for different activities. Similar should be your approach towards investments, right? You cannot have just one piece of investment for everything. So the first thing you need to do is you need to set up your goals. They can be short-term goals, they can be medium-term goals, they can be long-term goals. And based on that, you will invest in certain asset classes, right? Now remember, what will work for you in long term might not work for you in short term, and vice versa. So compartmentalization of investments is very important, because if you don't do that, if everything is mixed up, right, it can lead to your financial failure, because you will not know what you need to do for your short-term goals, what you need to do for your long-term goals, what you need to do for your medium-term goals. Do this and see the difference. So friends, I hope you liked today's video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe, and give your valuable feedback in the comments section. Help us improve the quality of the videos. And if you have any topics on which you think you would need more information, please mention, and I will see that I'm able to create something around that. I'm always here to help. If you need any kind of assistance, please call me on the number given in the description, or there is a WhatsApp link also in the description. You can click and message me, and I shall be delighted to help you to the best of my ability. Thank you for your time.